CV, look at his track record. He was the lawyer for Enron. He was on the board of governors of Vedanta. Then he became the finance minister. The day he became finance minister, he resigned from the governing board of Vedanta. When he was finance minister, he did an interview in which he said that in his vision, 80% of India should live in cities, which really means in his vision, 500 million people should be moved off their lands. That can only be done with the police. So now he's the Home Minister. You know, so a pretty organic career path. Manmohan Singh has said quite openly, of course, that that they want to get their hands on the minerals. So my thing is that even if you take the Maoists out of the picture, this militarization has to happen. Now, what I'm worrying about is that we are just saying this word Maoist very loosely. Are we playing into the hands of a rhetoric that the state wishes to employ? Because who are the Maoists? Are they the same in Chhattisgarh, in Jharkhand, in Lalgarh? For example, we know that in Lalgarh, it was a mass mobilization overground people's movement, which is then sort of not taken over, but let's say, the Maoists landed very lightly on it, or heavily maybe, but they're trying to use the energy of a people's movement there. In Jharkhand, there are different ways of operation. In Chhattisgarh, of course, they've been there for many years, working among the people, and for many years, what was that work? I mean, are we all sure that we know what it is? For many years, it was fighting for the price of Tendu Patta and fighting for other kinds of rights, and there wasn't this kind of standoff. So why is it happening now so suddenly? When we were in Dantewada, I was with Himanshu Bhai in the SP's house, and he was saying, see, ma'am, we have just shot these 19 Maoists, and he's showing me these pictures on his computer. And the pictures were of very young people, some 19, 20-year-olds, girls with anklets, in saris with their heads blown off and their chests blown off. These are all Maoists, ma'am. So I said, how do you know? I mean, do they have a DNA, or do they have a party card? I mean, how do you know they're Maoists? He says, ma'am, look, they have malaria medicines, ma'am, they have Dettol, they have all these things from outside. I said, that makes you a Maoist? Like malaria medicines and Dettol? So how are we so easily playing into this thing of Maoist, who is a Maoist, who is not? In Sri Lanka, the problem was that they collapsed the LTTE with ordinary civilians, and we are doing exactly the same thing. And this is a very dangerous thing we're doing. And we are also quite easily, sometimes maybe slightly lazily, saying things which, I mean, unless someone has some special knowledge, I don't know. I mean, the Maoists, for their part, are also increasingly resorting to major provocative strikes in which large numbers of police personnel have died. I know that they are major strikes. Are we sure that they are provocative?